Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, you said that you from Nigeria.
Yes, I'm originally from Nigeria.
Yeah, and you want to be a midwife over there in England. You are learning how to do that.
Yes, I'm studying to be a midwife at the moment.
See, where the concept of the midwife is quite interesting for me. Would you please tell me more?
Okay, basically a midwife cares for women during their pregnancy until up to maybe about a month after they've given birth.
Yes.
So we provide antenatal care, and then we look after women through labor, and then they give birth, and then we look after them at home until we transfer the care back to their doctor.
I understand. Which means,
Yes.
you need to go to the remote place, maybe future in Nigeria, to help people.
That's the plan. Maybe after I finish training and got lots of experience here, I hope to go back to Nigeria and help women in rural settings, because there's a lot of deaths in maternity care. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to, do something positive out there and help women.
Wow. So that means you have to take care of the people where there are no hospitals so much.
Yes. Yes.
Well, now you have been in England for 4 years. How is the life?
Well, I've been in England for a long time. But I moved to Northampton 4 years ago.
Yes. And then how is the life over there in England, Northampton?
Oh, it's fine. Obviously, at the moment, because of COVID,
yes,
we're all in lockdown, so we're all at home. The children are not at school, so we're doing a lot of home learning, a lot of work on Teams and on Zoom. And so we're spending a lot of time at home.
I see. That case, I believe that you have to learn online.
Yes, we're learning online. I'm doing my studies online. My children are doing their studies online, and my husband is working online.
Tell me, because COVID-19 is quite serious over there in England. Also, new variant is happening over there, and the death toll is skyrocketing. And you, as a foreigner, living there, do you have any inconvenience, or are there anything which you learned from that experience?
I don't think because I work in a healthcare setting, I've been offered the vaccine. So I've had my first dose of the vaccine. I'm waiting for my second dose. And I think the government, I've had my first dose.
That's good.
So I think they're doing a lot, to, like during the lockdown, a lot of people who can't go out. So a lot of people were shielding. So people with underlying health conditions were shielding. We're not allowed out. Okay. So the government, would every week they'd send food packages to your house and leave it on your doorstep. If you can't go to the chemist to get your medication, it would be delivered to your house. People who have lost their jobs, there's a lot of help from the government for people who have been negatively impacted by this pandemic.
But this is quite a good system over there, that case.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of people complain, when you're in a system, everybody will complain. But when you look at your system in comparison to other places, you realize that actually your system is really good and it's working.
Yeah, comparing, for example, like at the United States, there are a lot of riots. Many turbulence over there happened when, it was a peak time of the COVID-19. But in England, maybe people stay calm, that case.
No, it's been really peaceful. People are compliant. Everybody knows that it's for their own good. So people are staying at home because they've been asked to stay at home. If you stay at home, you don't catch the virus and you don't put so much pressure on the hospitals, so that people who really need help in hospitals are getting it.
Oh, okay, I got it. That's good. Based on that experience, what would you do when you go back to Nigeria?
When I go, you mean with the COVID?
No, not with COVID, but based on a lot of experience you had in England.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you go to Nigeria. which is really like still like a lot of villages, a lot of people waiting for you for the delivery or something like this?
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, my sisters and I have a foundation in Nigeria. It's called Balm Healthcare Initiative. So it's very small at the moment, but basically what we do is we provide delivery packs, because for women who don't give birth in hospitals, the deaths can be avoided. Basically, they're dying from infection or excess bleeding or things like that. So in our delivery packs, we put all the things that you need for a midwife to deliver a baby in a healthcare setting safely. So things like the clamp to clamp the umbilical cord, a razor blade to cut the cord, we have a clean towel to wrap the baby in when the baby is born. We'd have sterile gloves so that the midwife or the birth attendant has clean hands when she's delivering this baby or examining the woman to check the progress of her labor. So I want to expand that. So when I go back to Nigeria, I want to expand that project.
Where sometimes it's a difficult case, like a baby is upside down, inside the body of the mother. And
yes,
it's quite tough. Sometimes people need operation. And
absolutely.
And that case, you need to help a lot in a local area.
Yes. And we would have access to or a connection to bigger hospitals, so that the dream eventually would be to have an ambulance to transport these women from the rural setting to the hospitals in a nearby town or something.
Oh, that's quite an important job, can I say?
It's a big project, but it's very rewarding.
How it will be funded?
Well, at the moment it's personally funded. But I mean, when we get to and we rely heavily on donations, but when it gets to a certain level, we're hoping, to access funding from different organizations. Maybe we can work together with other foundations who do a similar job and who have a similar role, and maybe we can work together.
Which means kind of like not only just operational business, but also you have to relate it to.
Hello?
Hello, you hear me?
I think I've lost you, Hiroshi.
Oh, no, I'm talking to you. You hear me?
Oh, okay. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Because not only just doing the kind of a real operation over there in Nigeria, but you have to take care of the finance also, like such kind of foundations, more like a business area. And they are located in England and maybe US and many countries?
Well, at the moment, our foundation is strictly in Nigeria. But obviously, yes, it's in Nigeria alone. But once when we grow, we hope to reach out to other parts of Nigeria, then maybe other African countries, West African countries, then we'd venture out further. So for now, we're keeping it small. We're looking after, people who really, really need us.
Wow. In Nigeria right now, how about the COVID-19?
Wow. Well, I don't really know much about the COVID-19 in Nigeria, but I know it's out there. I know it's happening. And I know that people are slowly realizing that COVID is very real.
I see. However, of course, your job is quite different from take care of the COVID-19, but the same kind of medical care, which is still, I believe that's a particular local area of Nigeria. For example, like some places are not good for the politics, I mean, I know that Boko Haram or many other kind of way of the people. And do you have any idea like how to keep your safety when you work at the villages?
I think, obviously stay informed, to keep yourself safe. Obviously, you need to be aware of what's happening. You need to know the local area. Don't put yourself at risk. Make sure you're never alone, or you're not somewhere that you shouldn't be. There's very little you can do, because sometimes you don't know when things are going to happen. So, you need to do whatever it takes to keep yourself safe.
And particularly like you have a kind of a quite ideological kind of human rights and the women's rights issue you have in your mind. And please tell me about the women's rights issue over there in Nigeria or in general in Africa.
Human rights issues in Nigeria. I think obviously it's still a developing country. We're not fully developed yet. So we've got a long way to go. But I think every day we are seeing improvements and we are valuing life a lot more. And we know that, every life matters, regardless of whether you're rich or you're poor or your religion. Everybody is entitled to that fundamental right of being alive. So it's difficult it's a very difficult topic to discuss, but like I said, we're developing and we are improving and we're learning lessons from our mistakes, and I think we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I luckily born in Japan, where is so developed country, and I've been to many countries in my life, quite a lot of countries, and I can see quite the differences each other. But your case is really like you are in between two countries which is so different each other environmentally.
Absolutely.
And also maybe you help the delivery of the lady, and that case you need to educate women's rights too.
Absolutely. Over here, but still over here in the UK, we still come into contact with women who, don't speak the language. And sometimes they find themselves in a different situation where it's difficult for them because maybe they're in an abusive relationship. So yes, there's that safeguarding issues that we come into contact with here in the UK, and that might present itself differently in Nigeria, but fundamentally it's all about human rights.
That means like you are also experiencing similar things in England too, particularly maybe
absolutely. Absolutely, safeguarding is a big issue anywhere in the world.
Okay. Do you have any message to Japan? Maybe you don't know much about Japan, but tell me if you have any messages from.
I know very little about Japan. I just about know where Japan is on the map, but I love Japanese food. I love sushi, and I would absolutely love to visit Japan one day.
Northampton, there are sushi restaurant there?
There are a few.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've been to London many times, but I have not been to Northampton yet.
Okay, well, next time you're in the UK, make sure you give me a call, and it would be lovely to see you.
But you said that you were waiting for the second shot of the COVID vaccine already.
Yes, I am.
Even though, please stay safe, okay? And I hope that there are no side effects,
No, I've been fine. I've been absolutely fine. I'm looking forward to having my second vaccine.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, okay. Yes. Thank you very much, and stay healthy, and goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay.